It's time for Market Explainer, your number one business news podcast. Hosted by Danny and the big man. And it starts right now.
So, our good friends over at Vimeo, just kidding, they're not our good friends. As you know, our enterprise here is expanding. We're trying to, grow our Patreon. And so we were initially, right now, we're working stuff out. But we're going to, on Patreon, we're still kind of learning the platform. But we eventually, as we were discussing, we're going to have to get the Vimeo Premium or whatever it's called, Vimeo Plus, Vimeo Prime, whatever. Yeah.
Look, the actual story here that Danny's trying to get to is Vimeo is finally... Look, terms and conditions, y'all. We've talked about this several times. When you sign up with a company, Vimeo or any other, there's that box that says terms and conditions, and nobody ever reads. You just click the box and go forward.
Right.
In their terms and conditions, it's flat out... See, this is where I leave the left, so to speak. Okay. Is I find that any company is allowed to have whatever rules they want to have.
Right.
Even if you find a customer, right, and if you find a customer base with those rules that you have, then good on you. Right. And if you want to enforce those rules, whether you have before or not, is irrelevant. Right? So what we have here is a situation where people have signed up for Vimeo in this case, and in their terms and conditions, good on them from a legal standpoint, they say if you fall within the top 1% of traffic, right?
Right.
We all know, I'm not going to get into how traffic is decided on HD quality and blah, 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 blah.
That's complicated, but yeah.
Okay, but let's just, based on traffic, however they calculate it, if you fall in the top 1%, we can charge you a fee on top of that, right? For above and beyond our services, right?
Right.
We can change the way we charge you. Now, Vimeo, traditionally, like a lot of people in a lot of different places, may have rules that they go, hey, we're not going to apply this right now. We're not going to use it.
Right now, but they're going to do it eventually.
Right. And Vimeo traditionally has not charged people for these overages and stuff, these top 1%. Well, they decided collectively that, guess what? They're gonna. Yeah. And so this article was actually, the article Danny sent me was actually kind of written from the perspective of, this is not fair. Here's 3 examples of people that are going from paying, $200 a year to what this first one was $3,500 a year is what they wanted to pay, right? Or whatever.
But you're the top 1% of Vimeo's traffic, right?
Right.
815 views. That's what our most viewed video has 815 views.
It doesn't matter if you're following the top 1%. This is and they've got a guideline that says you'd fall in the top 1%. Right. They are charging her, for those for the downloads, for the traffic, for whatever else they're doing. And again, this article is kind of written like a lot of time they pull, again, we just talked about emotions in business, right?
Right, yeah.
They pull on this emotion because they've given 3 examples of people going from a couple of $100 to thousands of dollars.
Right.
And all of these people trusted Vimeo because Vimeo offers services that YouTube doesn't. Everything that goes up on YouTube is free. Everything that goes up on YouTube can be stripped and taken down and used and clipped and whatever. Vimeo gives you the ability to monetize these very easily because you can place it locked, you can require a password, you can do all these features, which, oh, by the way, Vimeo in the beginning wanted to be a competitor of YouTube.
Correct.
Figured out that they can't.
Right.
And now they don't want to be YouTube. They want to sell these services they've created specifically around video to companies to use. So that, hey, you can use this video software to record these trainings, these things, and then password protect them and share them how you see fit, and blah, 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 blah.
And I've known individual creators who make a movie. They're YouTubers, and they go make a movie or a documentary, and they put it temporarily. It goes on Vimeo. You have to pay for it. And some of those features have trickled into YouTube, actually. Some features like, if you want to support a channel, they can put out content exclusively for supporters. that kind of thing. We haven't
Vimeo
reached
is
those.
widely used for every training company out there that
Yes.
uses any kind of video based format for their trainings and whatever.
Right.
So any training company out there, you go to Bob's education.com and he offers online classes. I guarantee you they're
Is
sitting on
using
Vimeo,
right.
right? So that he can only give access through his website to those videos, right?
Correct.
So,
So what has happened is Patreon had partnered with Vimeo to be the
mhm,
official host of the videos that. So if we have currently don't do this, and we probably won't now, but
right.
we have exclusive. The full episode is exclusively on Patreon. But the only way to upload the video to Patreon is get an account from Vimeo, and then
Mhm.
it's exclusive. It's uploaded to Vimeo, hosted there, published on Patreon. So I'm just wondering, like now these creators are going to start looking for other options, and sites like Rumble are going to start appearing like the place to be.
Well, but Rumble doesn't offer all of the services
It
Vimeo does.
doesn't.
Now,
It doesn't.
Patreon
But
is
it might.
developing its own video platform. Like,
Right.
so that in the very near future, especially
Right.
now that this has happened, I
Right.
guarantee you Patreon uses this as an opportunity to
Right.
go, will you freaking put out a way to upload a video onto Patreon and get it
Correct.
out there because we're missing out on money. We're missing out on
Right.
traffic. They could 100% take over 90% of Vimeo's business on this kind of thing, right?
Right.
From the normal perspective. Vimeo is going to continue to exist because it's going to go after corporate customers, but from a
Which
hey,
it should.
I want to be able to upload my video and charge people for it. Patreon puts out a video platform.
Right.
They could literally jump overnight in
Right.
subscribers from a back end perspective.
Right. Totally. I just included this because I just wanted to smack talk them. That's all. You know.
No, this is important because this actually is one of those double-edged swords of business. They realize that there's not a lot of money in just hosting videos for people.
There
They're
just
not going to
isn't.
get the revenue YouTube does from advertisers
For
and
small
yada yada.
time creators, the money just ain't there.
Right. So they've
From
got to
Vimeo's
find a way to
perspective.
monetize. But by doing this, there's always a plus and a minus. By
Right.
doing this, you're not doing a great thing for your name,
Right.
obviously, right? Saying, hey, our bread and butter that we've used for the last several years, screw those people, right?
Right.
Screw them right off. Because, like, I mean, I do feel bad for these people. I get it from a company standpoint, but I feel bad. One of them is does some kind of teaching or whatever, and they sent him a letter going, 900 to 3,000 a year,
Yeah.
right?
Right. That's
One of their most popular channels called Channel 5. And this goes back to small businesses don't always run their businesses like businesses.
right.
So and what I mean by that is sometimes there's not always somebody opening up email on a regular basis or opening up the regular mail on a regular basis and
Right.
whatever. And then something bad happens and they go, wait a minute, what happened? You know what I mean? Their water gets shut off. Well, I pay my bill every month, but well, no, you have
Right.
an auto pay and something stupid like a credit card number changed, right?
Right.
Or whatever, and now you have no water. So this Channel 5 company does a bunch of the, man on the street type
Yeah.
interviews,
Yeah. Okay. So
right?
those of you who are unfamiliar with Channel 5, it's Andrew Callahan, all gas, no brakes. He's wild. It's a wild. I can't even explain it how hilarious it is.
I've never seen it, but I've seen a lot of
Okay.
those types of shows, right?
Right.
But the point is apparently these letters that are going out to these creators, they're given
Right.
like a 1 week deadline. Like
Right.
you either sign up to pay this new fee,
Right.
or we're going to take down all your content. We're going to whatever.
Right.
Well, apparently, whoever's supposed to be opening emails at Channel 5 didn't get around to that email because it was longer than the week, and then all of a sudden they start getting inundated by their subscribers about, wait a minute, new content's being taken down. I haven't been
Right.
able to see this episode. I haven't whatever. And then they go to find out that, wait a minute, they want to charge them, what, $7,000 a year, right? To continue.
But they have a deal with a production company. If I remember that detail correctly, they should have $7,000 a year to host it. They should.
Well, no, and again, I'm not
But
saying
it's crazy to go from $220 a year to 7,000, and then just hey, it's over. But
they've been
Vimeo,
getting away with it for years, right? This
well,
Channel 5 been getting away with abusing this service
right.
for years. They've been
Let's
losing money
Right.
Vimeo.
So if you're thinking about this in the context of why is Vimeo doing this? They're screwing themselves out of customers. Here's the reality: they want those customers to leave.
Right.
Okay, those customers are eating up bandwidth, they're eating up their server space, and they want those customers to leave. So they said, how much is what is a pain point? Because if we go from 220 to 440 or 220 to 1,000, we're going to hold on to some of these people that we really want to toss.
Right.
It's a business strategy, which is why it's in their contract, right? Because they want
Right.
to know, hey, at some point in time when we want to can a customer, we can't just say, hey, we don't like your face, right? We have to make them leave. The best
Exactly.
thing you could do in a business relationship is get the other guy to walk away instead of saying this is over. You don't want to break up. You want them to break up with you.
Right. Which is
So
what's
that's what they're
better
doing.
for Vimeo and its ownership, and it's what,
Yeah.
ultimately, right? Because they want to. So look, this is
And hey, we have to
that.
do a full disclosure. The CEO of Vimeo is my third cousin. So, yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not. You never know with Danny. But
Right,
look, this happens in business all the time, right?
right,
I tell people, look, I train new real estate agents. I tell them all the time, if you don't like someone, don't work with them because you'll just
right.
end up working with them over and over and over and over again.
Correct.
Why? Just don't. Let them go somewhere else. They are not
Right,
worth it. I did a whole study when I was a retail manager 20 something years ago
right.
about if that retail company I worked for would literally just tell those bad, what we now call
Customers.
Karens, just
Yeah,
tell those bad customers to go somewhere else. Instead
yeah,
of trying to appease someone that's never going to be happy, just tell them to go somewhere else. That customer satisfaction would go through the roof and your
right,
retention of customers would go through the roof because that Karen doesn't just affect Karen, she affects the 15 other people that are in line,
right,
right? And if you just forced Karen to go down the street to a different business, right,
right.
then your customers are all happy.
Correct. And you don't have employees dealing with Karen, right?
Right. So it's good on everybody, but do they
So,
nobody listens, right? They don't want
yeah,
to they don't want to tell Karen to go down the street.
so
But
the
this
CEO
is
of
that.
so the CEO of Vimeo is a gal named Anjali Sood. She's Indian, so that's why I said she's my third cousin.
Are
So,
you implying that all Indians are third cousins? Is that what
I
you
mean, it's probably not that far off. Uh,
I don't know nothing and can't verify,
yeah, of
agree
course,
or
it's all
deny
me.
with
I take it
anything
all.
Danny says.
Right. We're gonna jump into the next story, but I want to tell you that Market Explainer is brought to you by Avenue Lucky. Avenue Lucky is my marketing company. We provide done for you marketing services. You go to avenuelucky.com and we can build WordPress websites. We can handle your ads, the whole kit and caboodle.